Yeah, I mean, it's going to be an ongoing process, obviously. You know, this is something that no one has really came back from, so I'll be the first.
January 14th, 2022 was the last time Lonzo Ball stepped onto an NBA court. Unfortunately, during his game, Lonzo tore his meniscus again, which contributed to ongoing knee issues that he's been having throughout his entire NBA career. But just this week, during NBA Media Day, Lonzo shared some exciting news after 3 knee surgeries and 2.5 years away from the court.
But are you confident that you will be in uniform on opening night?
Yeah, man, that's the goal. Obviously, you know, we can't really tell the future, but that's the plan I'm on, and I think I'll be ready for the first game for sure.
In March 2023, Lonzo had a knee cartilage transplant surgery in which no NBA player has ever returned from. But in this interview, he seemed excited and ready to go on opening night. And if Lonzo is able to have a successful NBA career after this specific surgery, it will be one of the greatest comebacks in NBA history and potentially in recent sports. The vice president of basketball operations for the Bulls said, "We're gonna have to bring him up slowly. We haven't even seen him go through training camp yet, so there's going to be a lot of learning experience during training camp and how we can take loads in everyday practices, so we're going to take it one step at a time." Lonzo was a significant part of the Bulls roster in 2021, and when he got injured, they were first in the East. 2.5 years later, things look a lot different for the Bulls roster, and they just signed Josh Giddey, who plays a similar role to Lonzo, so it's still being determined where and how he will play in the rotation. But like he said in the interview, to begin the year, he'll be on restricted minutes and unable to play back-to-back games. But honestly, him coming back is a win in itself, and it just sucks that so many NBA players have their careers cut short because of injuries, so I'm rooting for him to come back. But in order to understand how severe Lonzo's knee injury actually is and how crazy his comeback will be, we have to look at where the injury started. He started having knee problems at the beginning of 2018, and on top of that, he had some ankle injuries, and I think some of it can be contributed to his Big Baller brand shoes. They were really popular whenever he was in the summer league and stuff, but they were not ready to be used on an NBA court.
That was the real story about them shoes, though.
It was about
them ZO2s I was playing in, they was not ready.
They were?
Really?
No one knows this, but Demo had a backpack, and he had extra, like, 4 pairs of shoes in there, because I had to switch them every quarter, because they would just rip. I mean, that's, if I had to say, like, the first 2 games, like, the real truth is, like, yo, them shoes just wasn't ready.
On July 17th, 2018, Lonzo underwent an operation on his left knee to repair his torn meniscus, and as we know, that knee problem continued to linger to the point where there was no cartilage left.
To make a long story short, ultimately, it started with a meniscus tear. Basically started on the Lakers when I tore it the first time. Tore it a couple more times to a point to where there was no more, basically not much meniscus left, and bone on bone was rubbing. So the cartilage was gone and the bone was messed up. So I had to get actually a new meniscus from a donor. I had to get a bone allograft, and I had to get some new cartilage put in as well.
He had spent most of the beginning of his NBA career with the Lakers, but in his first and last healthy season with Chicago, Lonzo was averaging 13 points, 5 rebounds, and 4 assists over 35 games. But then on January 14, 2022, against the Warriors, he suffered another torn meniscus injury. It was literally his bone rubbing against his bone on his knee. I can't even imagine the pain that he was feeling through that. It ended up getting to the point where he had to get a bone allograft and new cartilage put in, and like he said in his interview, he has a brand new knee, which is honestly just crazy to think about. Like, it's hard to even comprehend, but the fact that he says he's ready to come back at the beginning of the season makes it even crazier. He missed the entire 23 and 24 season, but he was able to progress in his rehab without feeling that same discomfort. He was doing basic drills like running and jumping, which may not seem like a lot, but there was a point where he was struggling to walk up the stairs. But he's been continuing to rehab his knee, and it's still going to be a long process. So now 3 surgeries later, he's getting prepared to hop on an NBA court once again, especially coming back from an injury like this. I doubt we're going to see Lonzo playing extended minutes this season, and I honestly don't know what his future in the NBA is going to look like. It really depends on how he's able to bounce back this season. Like, he definitely won't be as explosive or athletic, but his IQ and playmaking is honestly unmatched, and he makes all of his teammates better every time he's on the floor. He's just a really fun player to watch because he gets everyone involved, and he's an asset to any team he plays on. But the biggest question mark is if he can stay healthy and if his knee can hold up going into this season. People have come back from this injury before, but it's never been an elite athlete, and the NBA will expose your weak points. So if Lonzo's knee is not 100%, we're gonna see it throughout the NBA season. He has 1 year left on his contract. He signed a 4-year, $80 million deal with the Pelicans before being traded to the Chicago Bulls, and so next year he'll be an unrestricted free agent. So the season is gonna mean a lot for Lonzo Ball, but this could be one of the greatest greatest injury comebacks in NBA history. I'm really rooting for Lonzo here, and I'm interested to hear your guys' thoughts on this new Lonzo Ball update. But if you guys enjoyed this video, I made a video breaking down Lonzo's journey to the NBA and his career in the NBA so far. So if you enjoyed this video, you gotta check that one out. The NBA season is right around the corner, and I couldn't be more excited. So stay tuned for more videos, and I'll see you guys in the next one. I hope you have a great week. Until then, peace.